Hi and welcome to another installment of Math Basics with Mr. Besh. Today we're going to talk about the rectangular prism. The rectangular prism is a three-dimensional shape usually composed of either squares or rectangles. A rectangular prism has three dimensions we commonly refer to as your length, your width, and your height. The rectangular prism is composed of 6 faces, and these are the regions you can touch. They would be the square shape or the rectangular shape. There are 8 vertices, and they are the corners of my rectangular prism. And last but not least, the lines connecting each of the vertices are referred to edges, and there are 12. Now, the two applications that we normally associate with three-dimensional shapes are volume and surface area. To calculate the volume of a rectangular prism, what you do is you need to calculate the area of the base shape. In this example, it's going to be a rectangle. And then what you do is you multiply it by the height of the prism. The height of the prism is the distance from your base shape to its counterpart. In this case, it's the bottom to the top, which would be 6. So now to calculate the area of the base shape, first you've got to understand what shape it is. It's a rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, you take the length times the width. So now I have this color-coded for you in pink here. You notice that my rectangle has a length up here, which is 10, and then it also has a width, which is 4. So then 10 times 4 is going to give me 40 as my overall area of the base. Now, once I know the area of the base, then I can multiply it by the distance from the bottom face to the top, which was 6, and 40 times 6 gives me my volume, which is 240 units cubed, or units to the third power. This is also known as my length times my width times my height. The other application we normally associate with a three-dimensional shape is the surface area. Now, I color-coded my rectangular prism to illustrate the fact that on every single rectangular prism, the bottom rectangle is exactly the same as the top rectangular face. The left and right side faces are the same, and so are the front and the back. Okay? So what you're going to do is you need to identify the two measurements, the length and the width associated with each rectangular face, and then use your rectangle formula to calculate its area. So now, dealing with the top and bottom have a length which is 10, and they also have a width which comes out to be 4. So now when I calculate the area here, the top and bottom both will be 40 because 10 times 4 makes 40. Now when I look at my side faces here, they have the dimensions 4 by 6. So now 4 times 6 is going to give me 24 for each of these. And last but not least, I have my rectangle in the front and the back. They have the dimensions 10 by 6. So then 10 times 6 is going to give me 60 for the front, and then 60 for the back. And then my surface area is just the area of all these combined regions. So I take 40 and 40, add that to 24 and 24, and last but not least, 60 and 60 to get a grand total, which comes out to be 248 units squared for my surface area of this rectangular prism. And this is the rectangular prism. I hope you found this both helpful and informative.